Beautiful day in the neighborhood. No, I'm not going to sing that song.
Oh, Chippy, my neighbor.
Lorraine is finishing my sentences. So today we'll be singing, I usually sing this song once a year or so. So this song is easy. It has just one word, well, maybe two. And it's the Shema song that Deva Premal sings, and I've got her on my CD player. I'll see if I can remember to turn it on this week. So Shema is a Hopi word for love. And the thought that Deva Premal says in singing this chant is that you're sending that love out to the entire global family and humanity as well, and even those people that we don't get along with and are having a more challenging time with life or getting along with us. And that's the hard part, is showing love for those people that we really strongly disagree with. How can we throw that out there anyway? So we repeat Shema 6 times, and that at the end of the Shema there's a Shemaya on the 7th time. So that's how this song goes. Shema, 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 Shemaya. Shema, 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 Shemaya. Shema, 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 Shemaya. Shema, 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 Shemaya. 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 So maybe before we get started, we'll take 5 or 6 deep breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Connecting with the earth. Connecting with the air. Trying to take that 5-count breath. Sipping that air and feeling that breath filling up the pitcher that is our lungs, filling up the bottom and moving towards the top. Noticing that when we breathe deeply, it clears the cobwebs in the mind. It can clear the cobwebs in the heart. Leaving all of our troubles at the door. So are there any requests for yoga class today? Well, no request. That means we're going to do armpit yoga today.
Armpit yoga.
That's what happens when you don't make a request.
Don't forget
So we'll
to do
come
that.
into a standing position. And today I'll remember to turn the music on.
How about calves?
Okay. So coming into a standing position, bringing the hands to the heart. Charging our yoga practice today with love, with caring, and connection. Breathing deeply in and out once again. And I thought that today, since it's been windy this week, we would start with the the first pose of the Tibetans. So usually I end up doing the Tibetans as it gets closer to Chinese New Year. And it's a little bit early, but I think we'll start today. So we'll bring the arms out to the side. And then we'll just start spinning slowly. We don't need to be whirling dervishes today. Spinning slowly and holding on to that inner essence as our core. Can we find that? And so in the Tibetan traditions, we'll do this 21 times. Not really. Spinning. And I think we're on 20 right now. 20, 21. And then we'll come to a stop and bring the hands back to the heart, where we can find that, that inner river, that inner source. Even though the world is spinning around us, holding on to that inner essence. Breathing in, breathing out, pressing the feet into the earth, growing tall, growing upward towards that clear blue sky. fairly clear today and the sun. So taking the hands up and off to the side. So Chandra, standing Chandrasana on a diagonal. So we're stretching this side of the body all the way down to the feet. So I'm pressing this foot down more strongly, giving a nice side stretch. Inhaling to the center. And then exhaling and gliding to the other side. So now we're pressing that other foot into the earth. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice side stretch, coming back into the center for Snowy Mountain again. And we're going to repeat this one more time on each side. So it's like our head is right in between the goalposts. Breathing in, breathing out. You can even try to manage a smile. Remembering that we can smile for no reason at all. And there's this sweet little payback of endorphins that comes when we do that. Breathing in, breathing out, coming to the center. And then we're going to bring these arms down and give ourselves a hug. Kind of relaxing those arms for a minute and taking time to hug that inner voice that we hear when we engage in deep listening. And sliding those wings out. Now we're going to put the top one on the bottom and hug ourselves up again. Because we don't get so much of that these days, but I think it's going to be coming back in the new year. And then we're going to widen our feet to the ends of our mat, if you're on a mat. And once again, we're going to send these hands up because we're going to be splitting wood today. So we'll inhale as we grow tall and exhale down. Coming up, so we're doing a big ha sound as we come down. Ha. Ha. This is the class participation part of the program. We can all say ha to each other. Ha. Ha. So we'll do this 2 more times. Ha. Ha. I lied, it's going to be 3. I'm having too much fun. And then coming up to center and drawing the arms down and back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Bringing one foot a little bit closer to its partner. So your feet are once more hip width apart, hopefully. And even though I fed the community blue jay this morning, we're going to bring this Namaskar mudra out ahead of us and open it wide so we can feed the robins. Opening those arms, feeling that little pinch of the shoulder blades in back as we come past our frontal plane, just a scooch. And then inhale all those images, sounds, and pictures of the universe and the creation, and bring that into the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll do that a few more times, sending that mudra away, wishing peace in the new year to all living beings. And then we're gonna stand out here with the elbows slightly bent, palms down like the cormorant does on Rocky Mountain Lake when they're standing in the sun and drying their wings. So we're inviting that sun into our hearts, into our minds, and bringing that light in. So we're scooping it up with our wings and bringing it into the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. As we marinate in that light for one more minute. I have frogs today. And then we're going to do this one more time, sending that mudra of hope, of peace into the world. And stand out on the shore of the lake with the wings drying in the sun. And imagine that all those cormorants are smiling when they're like this. So they're gone for the winter from where we live. And then we'll bring those palms together, scooping up all those pictures and sounds in our mind of our global family and bringing them into the heart. Inhaling the left hand up and the right hand down. And so I have the palms kind of touching the sky and touching the earth. And then we're going to exhale and come all the way down, touching our feet. Inhaling all the way up, and then we'll switch hands. So we're touching our opposite hand up, the other hand down. So we're kind of going in two different directions. And then bringing that hand up and diving down. Inhaling and coming up. As we come up into a gentle back bend. And swan diving down. And this time, you don't have socks on, we're going to hook our toes with these fingers. So hooking our toes around the big toe with those fingers. And we're activating those top two chakras or glands in the head. Activating the brain. Inhaling all the way up. Coming into a gentle back bend once again. But then as we come forward, we're going to whirl the arms around and come all the way down, sweeping across the floor, coming up and bringing the hands to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Oh, I'm ready to get a drink of water. Then we're going to again lift the left hand to the ceiling, the right hand to the ground, to the earth. Being that bridge between earth and sky. Then we're going to bring the downward facing hand up and swan dive down to the feet. Touching the feet and hanging here for a breath or two. Inhaling back up. And now we'll do it with the opposite hands. Rooting ourselves in the sky, rooting ourselves in Mother Earth. Lifting both hands skywards and swan diving down. Coming down to the earth once again. Inhaling slowly back up. Coming into a gentle back bend, just a little will do, and then we'll swan dive again. This time we're hooking the big toes, activating our brain, activating our meridians in the head, being hung over, yoga style, inhaling back up, coming up into snowy mountain again, a gentle back bend again, tucking in that chin. And then as we come forward, we're gonna whirl those arms around once and down to the toes and back up to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Taking a moment to recalibrate. So then we're going to move from Padahast into a warrior pose. So we'll put the left foot forward, the right foot back. So we're gonna have the feet a little bit apart from each other. So they're hip width apart. So we're gonna do what I call the Bhavasana warrior. So bringing the hands to the heart. So setting that intention of caring, connection, and world peace. Having the world moving together. And we're going to sweep the hands to the side. So I have one hand on my shoulder and the other one reaching out to the side, and I'm bending my front knee. Breathing in, breathing out. Remembering our connections to all living beings. And then we're going to sweep the arms to the other side. Remembering that indivisibility of humanity. We can find a way to move together, gliding to the other side. And then we're going to move this arm all the way back to the waist. And we're going to look over our shoulder. So keeping that front elbow up. So you can look to the side or over your shoulder, whichever you dare. It's kind of unsettling. Twisting the torso, still bending the knee, and then sliding the arms around to the front. And then we're going to have them a little bit over the head. So they don't need to be straight up, just reaching upwards. Breathing in and breathing out, bending that front knee, sinking into that front knee. And feeling that back leg stretching those hamstrings. And then bringing the hands down to the heart. And as we come down to the heart, we're actually going to bend forward with that elbow in front of the knee. So we're on the inside of our body, twisting to the side. Breathing in and out. As we twist to the side, and then we're gently going to come up, straightening that front leg. We're going to take the arms up and glide them all the way back behind and interlacing the fingers once again. We're going to bend that front knee and bend forward onto that front knee, or as close as we can get today. Bending on top of the knee. Inhaling and coming up, straightening that leg, coming up to the sky, looking up at that clear blue sky. We want that in our mind and in our heart. Coming to the center again. And then we're going to bend that knee and kind of elevating down at the same time with the chest towards the knee. Feeling those shoulders come back. Don't let them droop down. Pulling those shoulders back. Feeling that back hamstring group working in that back leg. Inhaling, coming up, coming up, coming up. And then we're going to lean forward a scooch because we're going to bring that back leg up. So then just bouncing off that back foot, bringing it next to its neighbor, bringing the arms around to the front and to the heart. Breathing in and out while I get my music going again. I think Deva Premal is singing again for us. Coming into the heart and getting ready to do this series on the other side. Breathing in, breathing out. Then we're going to put the other leg forward, the other foot forward, and the back foot on a diagonal. And again, remembering that the legs are hip width apart for this one. So here we're going to start with bringing our arms to the other side. Got one hand on my shoulder, one hand reaching out to the side, and I'm coming down in my front knee. Breathing. Then we're going to glide them over to the other side of our body. Still bending that front knee. Sending out that wave of contentment across the earth. And here we come again. We're going to glide to the other side. And then that arm's going to go all the way around on the back of the waist. Keeping that front elbow up. We're going to see if we can turn the head to the side. Slowly, slowly. And then turning all the way over to the shoulder behind, or not. Just whatever makes you comfortable. Breathing as we twist the torso. Feeling that stretching in the legs. Keeping the shoulder, or I'm sorry, the elbow up. And then bringing both arms around to front and center. And we're going to bring them up on a diagonal over the head. Dropping them back all the way behind the body so that they interlace behind the body. Interlacing the fingers. And we're going to fold forward towards that bent knee. Breathing in, breathing out. Really feeling that stretch of the back leg, the front leg fighting for balance. And then we're going to inhale slowly up. So as we inhale up, we're going to straighten that front leg completely. Maybe a little bit of a gentle back bend, pulling that chin into the throat. Coming back so that we're completely vertical. And then we're gonna bend that front knee and exhale frontwards over that knee once again. Watch out for that balance. Breathing in and breathing out as we're stretched out over that front leg. Inhaling, pushing with the feet, pushing the body up. And then we're going to release those hands forward, coming over the heart. So we're going to do that Namaskar twist part once again as we come forward over the knee. And then we twist the arms to the inside and opposite side of the body. So then we're greeting all living beings on this side of the world. Breathing in, breathing out. Rising up slowly, coming towards the center. Watch that balance. Releasing the arms, and then we're going to actually lean forward a little bit as we drag that back leg towards partner. And I am going to walk backwards, so I'm still in the shot. And then we'll bring the hands back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Listening to the body mind. Listening to the heart, which might be drumming a little bit, so you might feel that beating of that inner heart. So yoga is all about developing an inner relationship with that inner divine being that all of us have, but sometimes it speaks in a whisper. So it requires deep listening to hear that inner voice. So next we're going to bring the hands to the hips and kick each foot ahead, giving turns to each foot to do this. So we're shifting our weight from side to side. Getting it warmed up for, I think we're going to do Tuladan balance pose today. So on this one, I like to have my hands on my hips, and you might be in a wall or you might be near a doorway, so either one works. And burying that elbow in the wall, finding a stable stance, and at some point when you're ready, you can lift that back foot. Lifting that back leg. And so sometimes when you have that elbow stabilizing it, you can raise that leg a little bit higher than if you were in the middle of the floor. And then being conscious of those hips. So sometimes when we lift the leg, we go like this and we lift it high. And we want those hips lined up. So we can put a cup of tea on them. So having that visualization in your head as you lift that outside leg. And this base leg is really working. The quadriceps are involved. The joints are engaged. Breathing in, breathing out. If you feel stable, you can try to come a little bit away from the wall or not. And then we're going to bring that foot down. And I like to walk in a circle after I've done this, just to get all my joints and my legs operating again. And I'm gonna come around to the opposite side. So the other elbow gets a turn in the wall. So coming a little bit close to the wall, but not too close, because you want to lift that outside leg. So you need a little bit of room for that. Coming up into a straight position, pulling in that core before we lift that outside leg. And I like to put my hands below the waist a little bit so I can see what my hips are doing. Because I don't want to raise that hip. I want it to focus on strengthening the quads in my base leg. And that happens better when this outside hip is even with the other hip. And feeling that base leg work and so we're just going to hold this for 4 or 5 more seconds. And then bring that outer leg back. And I'm going to walk in a circle again. Circling around. And coming back to that original position. So we're going to do it one more time on each side. So snuggling up to that wall or doorway. Or maybe you have a piece of furniture nearby. Coming up into mountain pose, so strengthening the whole body upwards towards the sun. So we're growing tall. And then whenever you're ready, lifting that outer leg. And watching where that, where those glutes are. So usually I'll do this for like maybe 20 seconds or so on each side and do it at least 4 times to strengthen those joints, strengthen the leg. And then once you've achieved that goal, you can actually do it 30 seconds. And then sliding that leg forward, walking in a circle just to relax all those muscles in both legs. And getting ready to repeat on the other side. So this is also a version of Warrior 3. Growing upward, pulling in that core before we go in. Lifting that leg. We have lift off. Keeping that outside hip down. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then bringing that leg next to its neighbor. And coming out, walking a few steps before we come down. Coming down into the mat. Coming into turtle. The soles of our feet together. Oh, I love this song. Giving our legs a rest from all those warrior poses that we've done, giving the calves a rest from that workout. So embracing any version of turtle that you like, from the hands over the toes and feet, which might be a little cold, to underneath the ankles. So whatever is comfortable for you. And rest in those legs. I was talking to someone when I was walking around a park. Oh, I think it was Wednesday. And it was Kate who used to be in this class. And her daughter is studying marine biology. So she's been working with baby turtles in Australia. Oh my goodness. So many people around the globe helping these species. So we're doming the back a little bit and trying to bend forward. Allowing the head to drop with the neck. Being the turtle who takes its home with it wherever it goes. And I remember that once upon a time, the Dalai Lama, who's of course exiled from his home, says that wherever people love you, that is home. So then walking up the legs and maybe crisscross applesaucing with the legs. We're going to take our arms and make some figure eights. Kind of clearing the air in front of us. And then we're going to turn to the side, doesn't matter which side, because we're going to clear the air on each side. Maybe smiling, sending a smile into the universe. And then we'll come to the front and we're going to turn to the other side and send those figure eight arms. It's like we're reaffirming, you know, we only want peaceful thoughts and positive thoughts coming this way. All the others can just be shielded away from my being, because I'm not going to invite them in, coming back to the hands, to the heart. And so from this, we're going to take both our arms over one side of the knees and sink them and plant them into the earth as we do a simple twist. Looking over our shoulders, so being sure to twist the neck. Breathing in and breathing out. And then lifting both the hands, bringing them towards the center. And they continue to go around. And they're going down, down into the earth on this side of the body. As we twist our torso around to this side. Looking around to the shoulder, if you can manage that. Seeing how your neck is feeling today. And then sweeping around towards the front. We're going to do this one more time on each side. So we're going to the original side, twisting all our joints and our neck. So how do we measure success in our lives? How do we measure having a meaningful day? And there are those, we'll lift our wings once again and travel to the other side. So there are those that say that success should be measured by how much we help others. You know, have we interacted with other people? Have we brought a smile to someone's face and heart? And coming back to the center, bringing the hands back to the heart. So from the simple twist, we're going to move into tabletop for the cat-cow, which I'm going to do sideways. Cat-cow, planting those starfish fingers into the earth. Hands are shoulder width apart, knees are hip width apart. Inhaling, long neck, making that valley in the back. Exhaling, bringing the navel to the spine, and if you can, pushing back towards the heels. Listening to your knees. Inhaling back up. Putting that valley in your back. Nice long neck. So that means we don't look up. And then exhaling back. Feeling that wave going back, the back straightening as we take the glutes back towards the feet. And we're going to do this a couple more times. Coming forward, building that valley in the back. Inhaling, exhaling, straightening the back, doming the back. Coming back towards the heels, listening to those knees. They will sometimes tell you how far to go. And then inhaling back up. Building that valley. Imagining that mountain meadow growing in your back. And then exhaling, actually doming and rounding the back. Building that hill as we come back towards the heels. Inhaling back up. And so from here, we're going to bring the knee to the elbow and then sweep it behind just a few times. Inhaling that knee to the elbow, exhaling it back. It's like a chiropractic adjustment to your back. Inhaling the knee to the other elbow, sweeping the leg out behind. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhaling. Then we're going to do something we haven't done too much of, and that is taking your hips to the side, the back, the other side, and ahead. So we're actually making hip circles. So circling to the front, to the side, to the back, and the other side. So not going too fast. Those hip circles in one direction right now. And then we're going to change directions and go the other way. Taking those hips to each side and starting this dance with the hips. And then we'll come into tabletop one more time, and we're just going to briefly visit the hydrant series that we did last week. So if your wrists are tired, you can make a fist with the wrist. So we're going to bring up our left knee, and we're going to look at it. Take a couple of breaths, and then straighten that leg. Straight foot. Square foot. Take a couple of breaths, and then slide it behind us. And then place the sole of that foot on the ceiling. So lifting it up just a tad maybe. And then bringing it home to the ground, down to the earth. And then we'll try the other side, lifting that knee so the knee is bent and looking at it. So we're getting that twist from the neck. Breathing in and out, and then we're going to straighten that leg on a diagonal. Stretching that sciatic nerve bundle again, and then sliding that leg behind us. Bending the knee so the sole of the foot is on the ceiling. And maybe raise that leg a tad, just a little. and come down. So we're going to repeat that one more time on each side. Straightening the leg, gliding it behind the body, and putting the foot on the ceiling. Bringing it home, and then we're going to try it on the other side. Bending the knee, looking at that knee, straightening that knee on a diagonal, holding it there but not the breath, and sliding it behind the body, and putting the foot on the ceiling, bending the knee, and bringing it down. So then we're going to either you can turn your mat up, curl it up, or if you have a blanket, we're going to do some kneeling poses for the knees. So coming into a high kneel position, bringing the hands to the heart. Once again. Then we're going to send this into the world, this symbol of perfect peace, winding the arms around my guitar and behind my back, interlacing the fingers. So we're pulling those shoulders back. Make sure that your knees are like hip width apart, and like not right together. So just as if you were standing. Pulling those shoulders back, shining that heart. And then we're going to slide to the left. Bringing those hands around the opposite side of the waist. Inhaling back up to the center. Exhaling to the other side. Making sure the shoulders are staying back. The heart is still shining. And coming up in center. And then we're going to exhale and fold forward. So as we do this, we're bringing the very crown of the head down. So zigzagging down, put the crown in the earth. Massaging the brain, massaging the head. So then you can release your hands, bring them to either side of the ears, and push yourself up if you wish. And then my toes are curled under so that then I can bring one hand up to the sky. And I'm making a star. I'm bringing my thumb and index finger together. And the back hand is going on the heel. So we're finding ourselves once again with the camel on the desert. So how to build that oasis in your heart. Build that oasis in the world every day. And then the hands are going to come together in the middle. Ships passing in the night. And putting one hand on the other heel and this hand in the sky. Following the star, following the light. Breathing in and out as we have a gentle back bend. Coming forward. Oh, and here goes Deva Premal into the Shima song. Once again, we're going to bring this head down to the ground, and our hands are following our legs behind us. Down to the crown. Massaging the brain. And either holding on to those ankles or putting your hands by your ears. Inhaling, working that core. coming back up, bringing those wings back up, and without hitting your guitar, twisting in one direction, one hand on the heel, one hand making a star. Building your own guiding light from your toolkit. And smile as you're watching the star. And bringing those hands together, ships passing in the night. Do the other side. And we're going to do this duet one more time. Inhaling and coming up to center. Hands are following the legs down. And they're going past the knees and around to the heels as we bring the crown down to the floor. So the hips are up in the air. This is not like a child's pose. Hips are up, head is down. Inhaling and coming back up. As we rise up, we're bringing those wings up with us. And we're once again building the star, coming back to the heel, coming back to our base. And we're still smiling. Here come the hands passing. Coming up into the ship of the desert, the camel. Inhaling and coming up with the arms coming up and back. So we're actually going to do Karmasana one more time on the knees. Pulling those shoulders back, just like we're in one of those sailboats on Lake Dillon. So those sails get full, and they bend back a little bit. So that's what we want. We want to be the sail. Inhaling to the center, and zigzagging down to bring the crown of the head down the earth. Breathing in and out. Inhaling and coming up. And as we come up, the wings fly, and we come up into our half camel once again. Switching the hands out. Smiling for no reason at all. Coming up to center. Bringing the hands to the heart. And then we're going to bring them above the head. And zigzag down again. Bringing the hands to the earth and sliding away. And then bringing the forehead to the earth. Opening your hands so the palms are up, leaving your troubles, leaving your worries with your teacher. Whoever that may be, leaving it with the Supreme, letting your worries go. Bringing the hands a little bit closer to the head and pushing off the earth. Bringing those arms up next to each ear and then shining. Letting that smile take over your being. So this time we're going to take one arm up. So it's curving over the head, and the other arm is curving behind our back. So we're making I Ching, light and darkness. So both of them propel us forward on the mat. And once again, we're gonna zigzag down to Mother Earth, sliding that hand, which may reach Earth first, a little bit ahead. Breathing in, breathing out, palms up. So you're releasing your troubles once again. Inhaling this arm back up. And as we come up, we're going to switch the wings. So they're going to come out, and then the other one's going to go behind the body and one in front. Again, breathing in, breathing out as we go down. Pulling in that core. The hands will touch the earth first and slide a little bit of ways. So we're releasing those worries again. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we're going to bring that hand a little bit closer to the head and push off. Rising up, and then we're going to switch our arms around again in that yin-yang symbol. Exhaling and coming down. So we're in that position of letting things go. Breathing in, breathing out. And on the next inhalation, coming up. And then we'll do this one more time as we switch wings. Smiling and diving down. Releasing our worries, and this time as we're releasing our worries, we're going to bring that back hand, which is behind our back, and we're going to bring it down in front so that we're on both forearms, and then we're going to come down onto the ground for Cobra. Oh, I'm going to move sideways. Excuse me while I move. So we can rest for a minute with our hands stacked underneath our forehead and our tummies into the earth. Sometimes it feels like we're in the fiery furnace with COVID. So sometimes it helps me when I remember, oh, I'm like silver baking in the furnace. I'm going to be purified. So that's hoping that's what happens. Inhaling and exhaling. Bringing the hands by the ears. Bearing our forehead into the earth. And inhaling, coming up at first with no hands. So the hands are hovering over the earth. Warming up the back. Just hovering over in a pattern over the earth. And then exhaling and coming down. Bringing the forehead back into the ground. Taking a breath. And once again, coming into Cobra, raising the head, raising the hands. This is kind of a version of baby Cobra. Strengthens the back, gets into those very lower vertebrae of the back. Breathing in Breathing out and then slowly coming down. And this time as you come up, lifting the hands, but bringing them in front of you a little bit. Coming onto the forearm or the hands. So the hands are above your ears, where your ears would be on the mat. Coming up a little bit higher. Being careful with back, starfish hands, and then escalatoring back down. Seeing how slowly you can go. Bringing the forehead back down to the earth. Taking a breath and then coming up, lifting the hands and then placing them where you want them to be. I like them, somewhere around my head actually. Coming up into Cobra. So we're only going to practice Cobra a couple times, but at home I'll practice this like 8 times. And then come and slowly down. So it's a weight-bearing pose. Building up those muscles in the arms, toning them. And then one more time, inhaling the head out, lifting the arms, putting the hands where you would like for them to be. And you might want to explore different hand positions, which can make Cobra infinitely easier. And then exhaling back down. Bringing the forehead into the mat. And then we're going to slide around onto our back sides. So sliding with our back sides into in the mat, into Mother Earth. And maybe we have our bent knees on, with the soles of the feet. Resting in the earth and letting that back just rest and melt into the earth. So you might even push it down, pushing the waist down, the lower back down into the earth. And then inhaling, let it rise to wherever it wants to be, whatever its normal position is, and then exhaling it into the lower earth, those lower back muscles, and inhaling and letting it rise up. And one more time, exhaling those muscles into the earth and giving them a little massage there. And releasing them, letting them go where they choose to go. So this is where we're going to do the leg circles. And so we'll lift one leg up, and if you have a tie, you can put it around that foot. Or you can put your hands around that leg and pull that leg towards the body, and then let it go. And so we'll do this 3 times. Pulling that leg, which the foot is on the ceiling, and back into the chest. And exhaling it into the chest one more time. And then we'll take that leg and we'll send it to the floor on one side. And if you choose, you can sometimes put a pillow or a book or something under that leg, or just feel those legs, those leg muscles stretching in the upper inner thigh. And then we're going to help that leg come up, pull it straight up, and then take it over to the other side. So when you do that, your upper hip is completely off the floor. You might be rolling your body to the side. And then we're going to lift that leg up and repeat that action. Taking it to the side of the floor. Letting it rest there for 3 or 4 breaths. And then bringing it up towards the ceiling and crossing it over the body. So you may even come up on that hip. And we're going to raise that leg up to the sky and lower and tick it down. Tick it straight down to the ground. And as that leg reaches the ground, we're going to bring the other leg up. Taking that leg up and send that leg to the floor on the side. And breathing into that stretch. Breathing into that stretch as that leg is on or close to the floor. And then we're going to lift that leg up with our hands or our straps and take it clear over to the other side, which lifts that top hip off the floor, twisting to the side. Breathing into that twist, and sometimes I like to rub my sciatic nerve side, that hip. We're trying to stretch it, not strain it. And then bring that leg straight up to the ceiling in the center and tick that leg down. So then we're going to bring the first leg back up, and we're going to start those orbits or those rotations around the body. So we've gone to each side and close to the chest. So we're making those circles around the body, slow circles, orbiting that leg around the body. Greasing that hip socket. God bless the hips. And after you've done this 4 or 5 times at least, you want to change directions and do the other side. Pulling it close to the chest, sending it far, far away to the other sides, to the other corners of the universe. Catching all those muscles that are in the hip socket by orbiting the leg slowly. And so that hip comes into the floor, it comes out of the floor as we tour this leg around the body. Going around the world. Going again. And then we're going to bring it up to the center and take it down. 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding at 6, holding at 6, holding at 6, and then going down to the floor. And then we'll bring the other leg up and start the same thing. So going around the world in 80 days. Circling that leg around the body. Being gentle with the leg, with the hip. And again, once you've done this quite a few times, as it comes up towards the chest, you might want to change directions and go the other way. There are some people who feel that measuring the success of your life is by how much you've been interacting and helping others. And we've got to think hard about how to do that in these difficult times. Don't give up. So if you haven't already we have changed directions and are orbiting this leg on the other side. As I think Deva Premal is going into the Gayatri mantra. Bringing that leg around one last time and up to the center, and then ticking it down. 3, 4, 5, 6, holding at 6, holding at 6, and then coming all the way down. So then let's come up on the soles of both feet, so the knees are bent, and we're going to do the rumba. So dropping the knees down towards the floor on each side as we are dancing. Doing the rumba or the Roomba. Surely I'll pronounce it correctly this year. Twisting those hips, twisting those leg joints. Doing the Roomba. So while we are here, we're going to stack our hands on top of each other underneath our tailbone so we can lift our legs up. And if you choose, you can either lift your legs up in this position or you can lift your hips up. But we're going to ride a bicycle for a minute. So getting on the bicycle, pedaling those pedals. Flat foot, so we can access those calves and hamstring muscles as we push away from the body. So we're stretching and relaxing those calf muscles. So not going too fast. We don't want to take off. So feeling those foot muscles getting invited to participate, pushing that square foot, that flat foot, and pressing that leg straight away from you. And then we're going to change directions and go the other way. Try not to think about it too much. Oh, let that muscle memory work for you. Not that we go reverse very often on bicycles. So going backwards. Pressing that leg away from the body. So going slowly. So we can feel that leg straightening and bending. So my daughters, when they were growing up, they went to a school where after school people used to ride unicycles. So imagine yourself being on one of those. Or those bicycles with the heavy front wheel. They have a large front wheel, little back wheel. What are those things called? Every once in a blue moon, I see one going down the street. I think you have to get on a ladder to get on one of those. And then we'll go forward one more time. And then we'll bring the hands out from our bodies or under the body and bring those legs down. And find a comfortable position for deep relaxation. While I silence Deva Premal for a moment. And get the guitar out. So you're puddling into the earth. Onto your back or side or whatever you wish. So I have another mantra that I sing that its meaning is very close to Shema. And that, of course, is Bhavanam Kevalam, which means that love is everywhere, or that love is all there is. Bhavanam Kevalam. Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam May you find a way to build that oasis of peace and contentment in the desert of self-isolation today. Namaskar. Thank you again for coming.
Namaskar.